Next news. Breaking news.
Spain is a wasted cause. Cut off all trade with Spain and watch them come running back. Donald Trump didn't whisper that in a hallway. He dropped it live at the NATO summit in Turkey, right in front of the same transatlantic freeloaders who spent years smirking while American taxpayers carried their defense bills. And then the humiliation got worse. Trump said the room had tremendous unity, pushed the 5% benchmark, and those leaders who used to posture against him started telling him, "Sir, we love you." That one line tells you everything. The mockers folded, the deadbeats blinked, and one country just found out disrespecting America now comes with a price tag. And this matters for one reason above all: your money. For decades, the old transatlantic scam looted American families so rich European governments could run soft welfare states, neglect their militaries, sneer at our voters, and still sleep under the American security blanket. Friedrich Merz just admitted the con out loud. Europe put in about 20% of NATO's defense resources, while the United States carried roughly 80%. Unacceptable, he said. Exactly. And Trump walked in and snapped the racket right in half, because that 5% benchmark, it's not an abstract summit slogan. It's a bill. A bill for freeloaders who got fat while our factories hollowed out, our debt exploded, and Washington globalists kept telling Americans to shut up and pay more. Mark Carney, of all people, confessed it. Trump has won the argument. Of course he has. Strength works. Leverage works. And when Spain refuses to pull its weight or back America against the world's top state sponsor of terror, Trump makes the consequence plain. No more business as usual. Pay up, stand with us, or get cut off. When Trump says freeloaders get cut off, I think about a 35-year-old man who spent 8 months with blurry vision until doctors found a worm moving in his eye. That horror came after undercooked fish. And the World Health Organization says 1 in 2 affected by parasitic infection prevalence. 1 in 2. A lot of people never connect brain fog, chronic fatigue, pain that won't go away, or IBS-like symptoms to severe chronic conditions. Parasite Purge spotlights Jonathan Otto's full-spectrum parasite elimination protocol, a typical cleanse alternative with a science-backed parasite formula plus red and near-infrared light therapy for healthy cellular function and natural detoxification processes. You also get free bonuses, including the 10-day intensive parasite detox protocol to prepare your body, support the cleansing process, and maximize your results. Go to purgemyparasitesnow.com and use code NNN45 to save 45% for a limited time. Don't subsidize hidden invaders either. And here's the detail the legacy media will bury under summit wallpaper. Trump did not just demand 5%. He singled out Spain by name. He said, "We don't want to do any trade business with Spain anymore." Then he doubled down with including visits. See, that's not cocktail party diplomacy. That's a president showing every NATO capital exactly how America First works in real time. I'm going to pull up the reactions because the public instantly grasps what the press refuses to admit. Europe only understands pressure, and Trump just applied it with both hands. Trump sharply criticized NATO for failing to support action against Iran, then directed his administration to immediately cut off all trade and partnership with Spain, calling the country useless.
I want to thank Mark. He's been a great Secretary General of NATO. I'm not happy with NATO because of what they did with Greenland, and I'm not happy with NATO because of the fact that they didn't want to help us with the #1 state sponsor of terror, that's Iran. They were unwilling to help us. Now, in all fairness, I didn't speak to Mark about it. I think if I did, it might have been different, but we didn't need help. But I was really testing. I wanted to see whether or not they'd be there. And the answer is they were. I spoke to Germany, I spoke to France, spoke to UK, spoke to Italy, I didn't speak to Spain. Spain is a wasted cause. We don't want to do any trade business with Spain anymore, by the way. I'd like you to cut it up. Spain is a terrible partner in NATO. They don't participate, they don't pay. I don't want anything to do with Spain. Cut off all trade with Spain, please, including visits. Okay, we don't want anything to do. Watch them come running back. Oh, they'll come running back. They treat this man terribly, and this man's a good man too, great man. They're lucky they have him. But Spain doesn't agree to anything, and you shouldn't carry him. I mean, you sort of automatically carry because you're protecting an area, so they're there. So they probably figured they have to protect us, right? But we don't have to. We don't have to trade with them. I don't want to do any more trade with them. All right? Yes, take it immediately. You don't even talk to them. They're hopeless. Bad people, because, you know, they have everybody else going and paying and working. In Spain, in particular Spain, there are a couple of others, but in particular Spain, they're open about it. They're hostile about it. And let's see how hostile they remain when they call up and they, please, we want to trade with you, sir. We want to trade with you, sir. They make so much money with us, and we're going to see that they make a lot less. I want no business with them. So, other than that, we're having the big meeting in a little while.
Other than that, yeah. So Trump didn't just call Spain out. He threatened to cut them off and dared them to come crawling back. Now even Canada's prime minister is admitting the obvious. Trump hasn't just pushed the debate. He's already won it.
Part of the point I made to President Trump when we spoke a few days ago is that it's not just he's winning the argument, he's won the argument. Countries recognize that they need to take more responsibility, see the direct threats.
So Carney said Trump just won the argument. Next, Germany's chancellor goes further, admitting past U.S. presidents got ignored while Trump finally forced Europe to listen.
Kann ich da abschließend nichts dazu sagen, aber diese Gespräche werden geführt. Wir wissen seit Trump 1, dass sehr
häufig... I don't speak German, but he says Trump often applies pressure through a very forceful approach. The last American president politely asked us, please, finally do a little more for your own defense, but across Europe those requests fell on deaf ears. Now there's an American president who says rather bluntly, enough is enough. And I can't blame him. Just look at the numbers. The United States spends around 80% of NATO's defense resources, while Europe accounts for 20%. It's unacceptable. So he confessed what everybody knew. Europe got comfortable letting America carry the load, and behind closed doors, Trump says those same NATO leaders were suddenly pouring on the praise.
The respect and the love in the room. And it's love really for the country, for our country. I don't want to say me because you'll say, oh, he's so conceited. He's such a conceited person. But they do. I mean, you know, they like the job I'm doing. They said, we love you. These are grown people saying that. Isn't that nice? Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're trying to get to me. And in the way they did, because there was tremendous unity in that room. And I urge all nations to accelerate their plans.
So after the flattery comes the real test, paying up. Here's Trump laying out the 5% target, calling out the rich allies, and warning the freeloading era is over.
In the working session this morning, we discussed the progress other members are making toward the 5% target, and they're making great progress. Many of these countries are very rich, by the way. We don't have to feel sorry for them. But it doesn't mean they're properly protected. There's a big difference. Some have truly answered the call, and others are making big changes and will be answering the call. I think I can say in all cases they're going to be answering the call, and we'll be taking in over $1 trillion a year toward defense, and that's a tremendous amount of money. That's a big up. They were at 2%. They were actually at 1%. I got them to 2%. Then I wanted to get them to 5%, and we got up to 5% the last time. And they're, you know, just again, if you could have seen the respect and the love in the room, and it's love really for the country, for our country. I don't want to say me because you'll say, oh, he's so conceited. He's such a conceited person. But they do. I mean, you know, they like the job I'm doing. They said, we love you. These are grown people saying that. Isn't that nice? Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're trying to get to me. And in the way they did, because there was tremendous unity in that room. And I urge all nations to accelerate their plans to get the benchmark as quickly as possible. The benchmark is going to be that 5% number. That's the number it should have been for years. As a result of the commitment we achieved last year. Defense spending of other NATO members surged by more than almost $150 billion in 2025, and much of that money is being spent on American-made equipment. They all want American-made equipment.
So Trump makes the benchmark plain 5% and fast, and he wraps up by saying America's standing inside NATO is stronger than ever.
Respect for our country, but now they have more respect for our country than they've ever had before. Thank you all very much. We'll see you back.
So after the summit victory lap, allies are showing respect because pressure works. Reuters picks it up with their Trump detailing the tremendous unity.
There was tremendous unity in that room. And I urge all nations to accelerate their plans to get the benchmark as quickly as possible. The benchmark is going to be that 5% number. That's the number it should have been for years in the working.
So the peak of the whole showdown came when Trump described NATO leaders telling him, "Sir, we love you," right after forcing them towards a 5% defense benchmark and right after putting Spain on notice. That was the moral collapse of the old globalist bluff. Emmanuel Macron's crowd, the Brussels bureaucrats, the smug think tank class, the anti-Trump media machine, all of them spent years painting Donald J. Trump as the problem while they protected the actual problem. Rich countries mooching off American power. And then Mark Carney blurted out the confession. Trump is not just winning the argument, he's won the argument. And he's right. Trump leads, everyone else reacts, and the freeloaders who ignored polite requests from past presidents just learned that blunt American strength gets results fast. So here's the line in the sand. NATO members hit the 5% target, or President Trump keeps turning the screws. Spain learns that sneering at America and ducking responsibility carries a cost, or Spain keeps getting isolated until it comes running back exactly the way Trump said it would. And every Republican on Capitol Hill needs to back this doctrine with steel, not excuses, because the parasites of the old order never quit. They just stall. They wriggle. They hide behind process and summit language and glossy photos. Well, not this time. Trump bent the whole room back towards American interests in Turkey. He praised the countries that stepped up, blasted the deadbeats, scaled up U.S. production, and made clear that on Iran, this White House does not beg cowards for permission. If you want more of that, send this segment to somebody still trapped in the old NATO fairy tale and drop your take in the comments. And keep your eye on Spain. When Trump says, watch them come running back, he usually means it. And I mean to make sure you get the news. And that's why I set up this telephone number, 844-840-4963. And thousands of patriots have already texted the words raw feed to that number to get the inside track and the news that YouTube refuses to send you in those notifications. I've seen your comments, and that's why I set this number up for you guys. And if you want to support our work, go to the merch shelf just below this video.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.